How we doing? Good to see you guys again. Sorry I couldn't be there last week. Jake wanted to review the knee exercises, so just kind of recap. Chris, EHS Physical Therapy Chiropractic.
Jake, Essential Motion Spine and Sport, and Jeff was with us there last time.
Yeah, so. Jeff was there as well. He can't be in the video today, but because he doesn't really like to be in videos, we like to be in videos. Now the running, with running, anterior knee pain, so things we can kind of classify. Your patellofemoral stress syndromes, runner's knee. Some of the common things that we get with, straight ahead running. A lot of it has to do with over the patella, over the kneecap.
We talked about that.
The tendon on the top or the tendon underneath, and then having to do with maybe some weakness and some different
hip mechanics.
Yeah, so that the knee is caving. Yeah, like that.
So we talked a little bit about that.
So we have a wonderful model here with us today as well, and we're going to use her knee. But let's start with the knee. Once you come through it here, and I'll just video here while you talk about it.
Yeah. Perfect. So up here we'll start. So surrounding the knee joint, we have a bunch of different structures that can be involved in the mechanics of the knee and causing pain here. So we got the glute med up a little bit higher here. So that's one of the main muscles that keeps the leg out. So I'm going to kind of demonstrate here if you want to point it to me real quick. So when I go on one leg, keeping the hips level here, this muscle fires so I don't drop down like that. So when we run, we need that muscle to be strong.
You're going to show how you kind of go like, it'd be like.
Yeah, so
floppy.
So if you have weakness in that, you'll kind of cave in or kind of dive in, or the hip will drop. And that can transfer back up to low back too, which we'll discuss in a couple weeks here.
Imagine that, how many, thousands of steps, or tens of thousands of steps. Imagine that happening as you're running, just thousands of times, little tiny micro traumas of like the hips dropping. Right. That's going to be pretty painful. So.
But up here we got the 4 big quad muscles, okay? Those come down into a common tendon that comes right to the top of the kneecap here. And then that tendon kind of comes down into the patellar ligament, which even comes into here. So you can get like that tendon pain or that, especially with the runner's knee type of pain that you start to feel in here. But these muscles, those quad muscles, are very important for the tracking of the kneecap of the patella while you're moving. So you have your big femur bone coming down here, that big thick bone that connects to the tibia down here. And those have a little groove in it where the kneecap should move freely. So if you have any sort of muscular imbalance up here through the quads, especially through that inside one, the VMO, then that kneecap can tend to come out, which can cause pain on the outside, or you can even feel it in the front of the knee.
And the timing of those guys is very important. He has to kick in at a similar time as this big guy on the outside kicks in, or you'll get some lateral, some translation of the kneecap that way, again, happening over thousands and thousands of steps. Little tiny micro traumas, all of a sudden you get some pain on the inside of that knee from having a weak or an underdeveloped VMO, or even just sometimes the timing of the muscle contraction. So let's go through that quad contraction part.
Okay, so I'm going to show the exercises here if you want to bring it on to me. Okay, so one of the ones we demonstrated was just we call it like a quad isometric. So all we're doing is getting these muscles to fire so that they're all working together to keep that patella, that kneecap, tracking as it's supposed to. So in the one we demonstrated standing up, you can just put the heel on the ground, you'll extend the knee completely, and then you're just going to fire that muscle right there and really lock that knee back, and you'll just do a hold on that. You can do 20 to 30 seconds on that. Good, you can come off it and go back into it and repeat, 3 to 5 times. I showed another variation of it where you can do it in sitting. So I'll just demonstrate here. So you'll take one leg over top, you'll press down with that leg, and you'll kick up with the other leg. So you're using that top leg just to provide something to push against, some resistance. And again, we're just getting those muscles to fire, getting that kneecap primed and ready to move. Okay, we had the reverse lunge was the other one. This one's easy. Got my nice pink socks showing here. This one, you'll just come back. You'll kind of keep the knee over the ankle here, and you'll squeeze up and squeeze through the hips. All we're doing is getting some hip firing out of that and working on that single leg stability. Okay? And the last one here, I'll let you talk it out while I'm doing it.
Okay, you had on the okay.
This is the one that
all right. Yep. So what he's going to try to do here is he's going to anchor his bottom knee on his right leg. Is going to kind of push into the ground along with his shin, and then he's going to push the hips up towards the ceiling. And then the other anchor point is his forearm and elbow. So what he's trying to do here is shorten the gluteus medius and some of the hip abductors on the side there. And those are important. Any kind of hip external rotators and glutes are important for the tracking and the timing of the knee joint, like we talked about with being on one foot. If those are weak, then your hips drop on the other side. So the only other one I would add would be a bit of a a single leg, with some visual feedback, possibly like looking into a mirror. And so if I'm looking into the mirror here right at you and I do a single leg, I want to make sure that when I do a little bit of a single leg drop here, my knee is staying out over my toe and it's not dropping in this way. If I can't do a single leg squat and this thing wants to cave in like that, that's a pretty good sign that I've got some weakness out here where I do a single leg and it just caves in. So we want to be able to do a single leg squat like that, and that knee stays right over top the second toe. If I drop a plumb line from my hip straight down without caving in. That's another one I'd add on that. So
there's our recap. So we'll come back at you guys next week. As always, comment below if you have any questions. Happy to answer anything. So we're here for you.
See you on Saturday at the Cornfield 10K.
There we go.